Hello, class. My name is Alec Kurkjian. This is going to be the quick take for our presentation for our Kin 405 class, Ethics and Kinesiology. I have titled my presentation Juice It Up because my topic is doping in sports. I chose doping in sports because I think it's one of the most interesting ethical phenomena in sport that has brought down athletes, teams, franchises, and even countries when we're talking about the Olympics. Doping is very broad and complex, so I decided to focus in on the steroid era in Major League Baseball to narrow my research. And my thesis statement is as follows, quote, although steroid use in baseball is unethical and takes away from the integrity of the game, past users should still be allowed in the Baseball Hall of Fame, end quote. And I developed a couple of research questions that are going to help back this up. The first being, should steroid users be allowed in baseball in general? I want to elaborate on this question because it interests me as a baseball fan. There's always talk of pace of play and how to improve the game, and I wonder if allowing steroid use can see an increase in offense again. There'll be a lot more hits, a lot more home runs. And my second research question is going to be, it's going to be centered around the Hall of Fame. Should players who have been caught using steroids be allowed into the Hall of Fame? This question also interests me as a baseball fan and as a kinesiologist. The Hall of Fame in baseball is viewed very differently than other major sport Hall of Fames. I would love to see it be taken less seriously. I would argue fame, whether good or bad, is still fame. So I want to take the side of the players who have used steroids, and I think they should be allowed in the Hall of Fame. So I'm going to further develop these questions in my paper, but I think these two research questions back up my thesis, and I want to see where that's going to go as I write my paper. More arguments and evidence that are going to support my thesis. I think doping doesn't have a place in sport in general terms, but I think baseball is the one sport because it's so unique. The season is so long. The Major League Baseball season is 162 games long. It's long and treacherous, and it takes place over the course of the summer when every other sport is in their off season. There's no clock, there's no shot clock, there's no game clock. A game could go on for hours. I mean, even the World Series last year, the Dodgers and Red Sox, they played past midnight. They played a 6-hour game, and it can drag on. And the cause of that is lack of offense. The teams just stay tied because no one can score runs. So in the past, sluggers like Mark McGwire and Barry Bonds, they used to fill stadiums. And sometimes that's not the case because it's very boring. There's a lack of offense. I think Major League Baseball can generate a lot of revenue if it allows their players to take steroids because everyone wants to come watch them. And of course, as it relates to this class, there's an ethical question. Isn't that cheating? Does that take away from the integrity of it? Yes, I'm not arguing that, but I think that those players should still be allowed. And I also think that they for sure should be allowed in the Hall of Fame because the popularity of those players are what's most important, which is basically how I'm going to conclude my essay by saying the popularity of the steroid users in baseball brought the game so much attention. And for that reason alone, their name should be entrenched into the Hall of Fame.